So I want to review Bucky Burns, Winter Soldier. Um, the hero that I did not realize that when this hero came out, that is actually a Caleb Grace design, which is amazing. I'm really happy he came out of this because, like, again, I've talked about this where I think Caleb does like a lot of like good heroes I like. I think this was a phenomenal hero that I like. Plays it a little safe, but we'll get into it. So first, we'll get into the cards for Winter Soldier and go through them, and I'll give my thoughts as we go along. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. Or join the live streams because these people had fun discussing rules for the past hour, which is really good. And that's how we all learn. All right, so let's start with Bucky Burns, the Alter Ego. 3 recovery, which is the lowest amount of recovery. I understand it's the most used, but it is still the lowest. He has 11 hit points, which is really nice, and a 6 hand size. He's a shield soldier and cybernetically enhanced with a cat in his back. Action, spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck and discard pile for cybernetic arm, and put it into play. I really like this action mechanic. They have an Alter Ego where instead of just like throwing away a card to get a card, you can throw away a card to play the thing. So I really, really like this. And we'll get into the whole cybernetic arm thing in a second. So as far as Winter Soldier on hero side, drops down to 5 hand size, which you would expect, 11 hit points, 222 stat line, which is a great shield soldier, a lethal protector, response after you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Bonkers. This was so much fun. Now, it does kind of line them up where you need to have minions and get minions out there. When I was playtesting this, I ran, I think, 16 games with Winter Soldier. I usually try to do 12, but I did more because I really enjoyed him as a hero. When you play non-minion scenarios, he's tougher to play. It's not impossible, but it is tougher to play. And having I know there is no limit, so you could just like slay 6 minions in a row in the same phase and it counts, right? That'd be 12 threat removed. It's nice that, again, it's not from the main scheme or the side scheme, it's a scheme, so it's whatever you want to do, which is crazy in my opinion. I absolutely love it. Makes them really, really strong, makes them really, really fun. Just feels like you're doing a lot, which feels great. And again, it's not a basic activation, it's just after you attack, so it could be from your events or whatever. As long as it's an attack event, you're good to go. So let's talk about cybernetic arm. It's a 1-cost upgrade. Item tech card resource, exhaust cybernetic arm to generate a wild resource for an attack event. That event deals 1 additional damage. One is just crazy that this is just a 1-cost card to basically have a resource generator. That's absolutely amazing. The additional damage is just like a nice little perk, right? It's just a nice little extra thing it's got going on here. So obviously you're going to want to lean into the attack events. Again, it doesn't have to just be aggression or anything like that. Any aspect that has attack events, this will work for. Super cool. All right, Black Widow's his signature ally. 3 costs, 2/2/3 stat line. After you play Black Widow from your hand, return an attack event from your discard pile to your hand. Really nice. You don't want to Voltron Black Widow because you want to play her as often as possible. So when I was doing leadership and doing recursion build, it was kind of gross because I could just keep getting the same attack card over and over and over that we're going to get into in a second. And it was phenomenal. I would literally do the attack event, have Black Widow the next turn take the hit so that she would get knocked out, and then get her back into my hand. Well, not recursion because that would just go back into play, but do get something else to get her back into my hand. I forgot what card I was using now. I'm already drawing a blank. And then playing her, right? That's the sequence that you want over and over and over. And it can be really strong and really good. So yeah. Really good card. Get those attack events and be able to spam them. Arm block, 1-cost event. And actually, let me rephrase this. Even if you don't do that, right? Even if you just play her the one time, that is fine too. Especially if you get his main attack card. It'll be really, really strong and really good. So you don't even need to focus in and like lean into that. It doesn't even matter. All right, arm block is a 1-cost event. Attack, defense. Hero interrupt. When an enemy attacks, deal 3 damage to you. Crazy. If you exhaust the cybernetic arm, which would add it to 4 damage. To pay for this event, prevent all damage from the enemy attack. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, right? Super strong in general. You take no damage and you deal 4 back. Crazy. I mean, you will get retaliated if that's an option because it's an attack card, but it has to be for the whole arm thing to work. But it would deal 4 damage because, again, it's an attack event, and this is an attack and defense event. Love arm block. 2 of them in the hand. Metal Punch is his main card. 3-cost event, attack. 3 for 7 damage. If you exhausted the arm for this, it gains overkill, which is bonkers. because basically now a 3 for 8 card, which is the old standard, not the new one, essentially. But to hit this on a minion to get overkill on top of it, so I'm dealing, a minion has 2 life, let's say. I'm dealing 6 damage now because, this now does 8 damage. And then because I destroyed a minion, it triggers my whole Winter Soldier lethal protector response where I get to remove 2 threat from the scheme. Insane. Absolutely loved it. And again, if you did arm block, it would also trigger it then too with the lethal intent response. So really love that. But Metal Punch is the card. There's 3 of them. You cycle through this as a solo player. If you deal 16 damage, wild, right? Absolutely wild. Again, play Metal Punch. Get to play Black Widow. Recur it back to your hand, the Metal Punch that is, and now you're doing another 8 damage. For solo play, I mean, that knocks out stage 1, does most of stage 2, a lot of stage 3, right? 3 copies of that card. Electrical Discharge is a 2-cost event. Attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you pay for an energy resource, which would be your wild as well, you get to stun the enemy. Really strong. I use this on the villain all the time. The 2 for 4 damage isn't great, but if I'm using cybernetic arm, it's now 2 for 5, which is pretty good. And then I'm stunning that enemy, assuming they don't have steady or stalwart, which is really strong. This is a really good card. I undervalued this card at first, but absolutely phenomenal. Really, really good card. I don't use it for minions though, ever. Safe House 30 is 1-cost support. Location Shield card. Exhaust this card to search for an encounter, or search the encounter deck for a minion and put it into play. Then you draw a card. Even if this didn't have the card draw thing and just put the minion into play, one, you're not revealing a minion, which is massive. You're putting it into play, which does trigger different things, or it doesn't trigger certain things, I should say. It thinks that it's only alter ego, but that's fine. But it allows you to draw out those minions, right? It has to be the encounter deck, so that's the only downside, really. But it gets you to draw out that minion, so then again, I can murder that minion to remove 2 threat. Like, it's a really simple, like, step building process. If you team it up with the Metal Punch, now I can overkill on the minion to deal damage to the villain, plus I'm removing the 2 scheme. Phenomenal. Also good to draw out Quick Strike, so it fizzles 100%. If you're dealing with a minion with Quick Strike, absolutely phenomenal in that regard as well, because now they're not going to Quick Strike you, which is really, really good. I think, again, the putting into play makes this card so much better. And drawing a card, if it didn't have that, I would still love this card. The fact that it has that, even stronger in my opinion. Silent Infiltration, 2-cost upgrades prep card. Hero response, after you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card. Ready your hero and confuse an enemy, which is also bonkers to me, that you also get to confuse an enemy. Like, not even the enemy that you attacked, just an enemy. Whatever enemy you decide out there in the wild, you can do that. Really good. You're going to be trying to defeat a bunch of minions anyway. Does it stink that you have to discard this card? Yeah, but there's 2 of them, which is really nice. So the fact that, and you can have both out, right? It's not max 1 per player or something like that or whatever. Like, you can have both these out, which is really good. So being able to have that, you want to defeat a minion anyway. You defeat the minion. Now you can knock out the, or not knock out. You can knock out the minion. You can confuse the villain, let's say, which lets you flip back down to get a free, alter ego, basically, where you get to draw out another minion to draw a card, and you have something else to kill, right? It's like a really easy, straightforward mechanic that's like, okay, it takes some work to get to, but once you get it, like, it makes sense when you line it up. And I really like that. Then we have his Winter Armor, 2-cost upgrade. You gain 3 extra hit points. It brings him up to 14, which makes him an absolute monster. And he gains the steady trait. Huge. If he just gave him 3 hit points, I thought that would be pretty decent. But the fact that you get steady on top of it, absolutely amazing, because you don't want to be slowed down by stuns. So this will help free you up a little bit. You still obviously can get stunned if you get 2 of them on you. But now you clear it out and you're good to go, right? Ready to rock and roll. His Winter Mask, a 1-cost upgrade. You gain the Spy trait, which I'll be honest, I never really did much with the Spy trait, so whatever. But after you attack and defeat an enemy, exhaust this card to draw a card. I mean, I'm doing it anyway. I'm removing threat. I'm overkilling. I'm doing all this damage. I'm stunning things. I'm confusing, whatever. Now I get to draw a card on top of it too. Super strong, right? Super, super strong. And then Winter Rifle is a 3-cost upgrade restricted. When Winter Soldier makes a basic attack, which is 2, exhaust this rifle to get +2, and it gains range and piercing, which tough was one of the things that could slow him down, but not anymore as long as you get this gun out there. The range thing is also really nice too. But now I can pierce off the tough, deal the 4 damage, right? And then go back to just slaying him with my metal arm or using electrical discharge, right? It's absolutely insane in how he works, and it's very, very straightforward in how the upgrades and the support really will help the rest of your cards. And I think, again, for me, it felt like I was powerful, but not overpowered. If you don't have minions out there, it does make it a bit difficult, right? You do have to kind of plan things out and be careful with what you're doing and all that fun stuff. So there is a little bit of challenge with that, but it doesn't negate him, right? He has no threat removal cards, but as a solo player, especially, if I'm going to be killing minions anyway, okay, but let's say there are no minions to kill. The fact that Black Widow has 2 threat removal, which, okay, I would start contemplating Voltroning Black Widow to keep up constant threat removal, and I have 2 threat removal base. As a solo player, that's pretty good. Now, in a multiplayer game, you're probably not going to have Winter Soldier as your main thwarter, but in a multiplayer game, there should be more minions out there, and he is just going to slay all the minions and stun and confuse the villain and remove threat from a scheme and be able to support you in so many different ways. So he's really, really strong in what he does, but he doesn't 100% rely on it. And I think that's what I like the most about him is, again, I played him in scenarios where there were 0 minions, and it was a bit of a struggle, and I had to change my approach and my strategy of things, but it wasn't impossible. It just wasn't as effective. But you Voltron out Black Widow, which again kind of negates the whole like playing from her hand to get an attack event. I don't even care about that anymore because I'm eventually going to get Metal Punch. I'm eventually going to get whatchamacallit, electrical discharge and a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to slay eventually anyway. So you might as well have Black Widow just sit there and just thwart for me all day. Especially then I confuse the villain. I pop down, let's say I sidekick Black Widow. She'll heal right up when I heal. Good to go, right? So for me, Bucky Burns was straightforward, fun, enjoyable. I felt good. Everything felt strong when I was playing it. I was just really, really just like enjoyable overall. I think from this wave, I really like Silk, but he might be my favorite overall because he's just so much fun. I really dig the art in the Black Widow card. Yeah, it's good. It's really, really good art. I don't think I've tried Bucky in protection. Arm block would be fun with change of fortune and perfect defense. That would be a good one too. Yeah. Easily the biggest decision point is deciding what event you use your arm on. Yes. That's like when your hardest challenge is, do I want to murder or murder less but stun? I think we have some good problems. Also good to draw out quick strike so it fizzles. Yep. My favorite build has been Justice with Stealth Strike and the Raft. So much threat removal, and once the Raft fills up, you get to easily neck out for your next hit again. I meant to say minion, but my phone autocorrected. No, that's good. So wait. So much threat removal, and once the Raft fills up, you get to easily get the minion out. You want to hit again? Yes. Just got Winter Soldier yesterday. Excited to play. Dude, he's phenomenal. He's honestly phenomenal. He's a lot of fun. I know a lot. Again, people complain that he has no threat removal, which he does, but you have to have minions. If you don't have minions, lean into Black Widow being like your threat removal, or do Justice. You could do Justice, it'll be strong too. But because he has 2 thwart removal, which might be a little overkill for him, he probably should have been a 1-2-2 stat line. I think being 2-2-2 made him a little too strong for solo, but that's okay. I'll take 2 strong at this point. Not an issue. Because he's that, I'm not leaning into like attacking that much with my hero. Like I don't really need to, because my events are so strong, right? And you're probably gonna be putting in more regular events in your card too. Like no matter what the aspect is, right? There's attack events for every single aspect. So you're probably gonna be putting them in there too because you want to run them with cybernetic arm to deal more damage off of them, yada yada yada. It's really good. Thor, Fury of the God deck, and Bucky against Green Goblin. There you go. But yeah, if as far as this wave goes, again, I like the decent amount of heroes from the wave. Winter Soldier is probably my GOAT right now of this wave. I think he was fun. It's enjoyable. There's some strategy to it. There's a little bit of depth to it. It's a little bit on the simpler side. So again, besides the threat removal stuff, you might not like the threat. You may not like the lack of threat removal. I think people that play a much longer game had bigger issues than I did for it, but you could be so aggressive with him and overwhelm the minions and the villains so incredibly quick that it was just, again, it was something like I felt like I never really worried about. And he works well in every aspect, in my opinion. He worked well in aggression, justice, protection, whatever you want to do. In protection, he played a little bit different, which was nice. In leadership, I played him a bit different because again, I was kind of sidekicking Black Widow, which is pretty standard build now. But you could do that, which feels good, right? It feels good to play it different ways. Even justice, you would lean into more of the thwart stuff, but you focus on the attack stuff too, because of how cybernetic arm works. So yeah, loved Winter Soldier. That was absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend. If you're gonna get one hero, I think from this wave, it's the one to get. I understand some of the complaints, but I think it's just so good overall that I really don't have any. I really don't have any. I really enjoy it. Every time I play him, I've enjoyed it. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Winter Soldier.